It's set to be the biggest single event in Australasian combat sports history when UFC 243 takes place in Melbourne next Sunday. No less than 4 New Zealanders will compete in front of a worldwide audience of millions. 3 of those mixed martial artists come from the same Auckland gym, including Israel Adesanya, who is challenging for the world middleweight title in the event's headline bout. Clay Wilson and camera operator Dan Cook caught up with the 4 Kiwis ready to make a statement on Australian soil.
Israel, the last style bender!
Well before his UFC debut 18 months ago, Israel Adesanya predicted he would fight Kiwi-born Australian Robert Whittaker for the world middleweight title in 2019. But, sharp as he is inside and outside the cage, he probably didn't foresee the circumstances in which that bout for the belt would come. Adesanya will be joined by City kickboxing teammates Dan Hooker and Brad Riddell, as well as Hamilton's Luke Jameau at UFC 243. It means the dressing rooms at the 60,000 capacity Marvel Stadium will be swarming with Kiwis, and Adesanya says there's no doubt that makes a difference.
In the cage it doesn't, but when we're together as a squad, rolling together as a unit, it does, because it feels like we're storming their land and taking over. So it does, it's like there's a pride thing, like a prideful thing, but it's not even like a nationalist thing, it's just a mana thing.
The heavy New Zealand involvement is especially good news for Riddell. The 27-year-old, whose stellar kickboxing resume has helped him earn his UFC debut, says Melbourne won't feel like enemy territory at all.
It's going to feel like I'm here, it's going to feel like I'm here warming up or training, and I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to hear just as many people from my gym. We've got like 200 people going over there and they're all sat in one area. So it's going to be like home.
That relaxed Kiwi vibe will also be welcomed by Hooker, with the last 5 of his 13 UFC bouts coming in the US. And while he gets a big opportunity in the co-main event alongside the world's 6th-ranked lightweight, highly respected American Al Iaquinta, Hooker is also more than happy to take a back seat to Adesanya ahead of next Sunday.
I like it. I like it when Israel's on the card, because then he gets asked all the questions and I can kind of just fly under the radar and get to the fight, which is the part I like.
A statement victory could also open doors for Jameau in the welterweight division. Although he spends his weekends in Auckland and is close with the City kickboxing crew, the 31-year-old says he's more than happy in Hamilton for now.
Auckland's pretty expensive place to live in too, you know what I mean? And it's a pretty big city. But man, Hamilton's where it's at too. We've got some real good talent down there.
Jameau says that talent is, in part, a product of the increasing success being experienced by New Zealand's top mixed martial artists.
It's blowing up and it's real good, get these guys off the streets and putting their energies into something positive and having all these guys as role models, and we come from the same place, same areas, you know what I mean? It's super motivating for these kids, and I know that.
Motivation isn't an issue for Adesanya, with the potential to get a shiny gold belt to match his shiny gold chains. Never short of confidence, the Nigerian-born 30-year-old has a message for those saying he's not ready to be a world champion just yet.
So everyone every time, it's too soon, he's not ready, and I prove them wrong and I prove myself right every single time. This will be no different.
Just taking part definitely won't be enough. But, as Hooker explains, whichever way results fall, it's going to be an afternoon to remember.
To have the biggest event in UFC history to take place in Australia, in Melbourne, and to have all these Kiwis representing and flying the flag in front of the world, the world size. It's not just those 60,000 people there. That's an incredible feat in itself, but all the people that will be tuning in at home.